Hello, my name is Edward Brown of the Courage Image and Charisma Institute. Today I want to talk about the takeaways from the 2012 Vice Presidential debate. For anyone who wants to persuade, to impact the audience, or to at least have someone consider your perspective, you have to do a few things that Joe Biden did last night. One of the things you always want to do is show a demarcation. You want to show yourself to be the authority, the credible figure. In this case, Joe Biden showed that he was the elder statesman, that he had more experience, that he knew the ropes in the world. He knew exactly where all the bodies were buried. All those dynamics go for credibility and towards the idea of, I'm a better candidate, a better choice than you are. And by having that son-father dynamic that Biden created, it suggested that he wasn't ready, Brian wasn't ready to take on a role if in fact he had to take the role of president right away. He wasn't presidential. Ryan wasn't as fluid as he needed to be. He wasn't as engaging as he needed to be. So therefore, Biden was effective in showing a son-father relationship that was going on at a point in time in the debate that suggested that, yes, he's a good, smart guy, but he's not ready yet. Secondly, Biden was effective at laughing off or casually responding back to everything that Ryan said. He didn't let him off the hook. Matter of fact, he kept him on the ropes, and he browbeated him in some respect, because going back to the father-son relationship, he was saying, son, I understand what you're saying. It's not going to work. It's been tried before. I tell you what, if you think we're not doing a great job, tell us how we could do better. What would you do differently? By doing it that way, you keep saying, we're doing all we can. Don't throw darts just because you think by throwing darts, that's going to help you win the election, or by throwing darts without a response and a platform for saying a better way of doing things, that it's going to change things. When you have that kind of composure, that kind of poise, and throw back in another person's corner, you actually become more effective. When you say, we're doing all we can, we are on top of this, if you don't like what we're doing, what would you do? And when the person can't respond, you got it. And finally, when you're not charismatic, and I would go as far as to say that each candidate last night was not charismatic. They're not seen as charismatic leaders. They don't seem to be that level of engagement as their forte. People don't necessarily say, I want to get in Biden's camp, I want to get in Ryan's camp, because I feel like they motivate me and inspire me to do great things past my own individual limitations. That's not the case here. But when you don't have charisma, what you can have is breadth and depth of knowledge, which means that find a subject that you're totally interested in and immerse yourself in that subject, so that when you have to give a conversation or a talk or a presentation, that you can actually do it without even thinking about it. You don't need any notes. You don't have to go back and do any research, because you've been doing the research. You've done your homework all along. Matter of fact, research is part of your reality and your lifestyle. So when you have the breadth and depth of knowledge, no matter who comes against you, you can wrap them again and again and again with knowledge, understanding, clarity based on your analysis that the person can't respond to. And so stay in your lane when you talk about the things that you are firm about. Don't let anyone get you out of your lane by saying, well, what about this? Well, what about this doesn't fit your lane, or your knowledge base, don't go there. And so when you see debates like the one last night, take away the information and the techniques and the strategies and the perspectives that will allow you to be more persuasive when you have to give a presentation of that magnitude. I believe that that was a model that we all can follow as it relates to when we have to give persuasive speeches and we have to be charismatic to draw people in. While we may not be charismatic, we can be charismatic enough at that point to draw people in based on passion, knowledge, breadth and depth of knowledge, and the fact that you're enthusiastic about the concept that you're talking about. So I suggest you look at that tape again, review it, study it, and see exactly what you need to do moving forward. If you want more information on how to be more charismatic in your leadership abilities as well as your persuasive abilities, there's a link below for websites. Tap into them, take the information, and see if there's value for you as you move forward in your own evolution.